Hello there, and welcome to our chapter review for One Piece manga chapter 1108. It's titled Attention World, so I guess perhaps this will be an chapter where we see the world sort of reacting to the events taking place on Egghead, I'm thinking. I suppose maybe it could be the conclusion of the arc, but also, since this title is Attention World, this might be kind of where we get the final pins in why the Egghead Island incident is a world-shaking event. So we've got the cover of Shonen Jump. It's all Gear 5 Luffy. Very interesting. Just a big shot of Gear 5 Luffy aiming a punch towards the screen. Very cool. Notes from Oda. Went to Fake Type's live show. It was simply astonishing to hear someone rap that fast in person. Talk about breathtaking. That's cool. We got, some nice cover art here. It is Nami, Robin, Uta, Tashigi, Reiju, and Hancock. They're wearing red dresses. Well, most of them are wearing red dresses. Reiju's wearing a black dress. They're wearing dresses and drinking wine. It's very fancy. And there are lots of little... Are these Shih Tzus? I think they're Shih Tzus around. Pictures of dogs on the wall. It's very cute and elegant. Very nice piece of art. Okay, first page. During the barrage. Yeah! We've got the Navy ships still trying to carry out the Buster Call barrage on the island. What's his story? Ah, wait, please! He's wet-haired caribou. That's right, please hold on. You may be a pirate, but this is a government island. And there are people after the Commodore's life. You've got it all wrong. Please, trust me. If you guys kill me here, Commodore Teach will have your heads. So we've got the continuation of Caribou trying to talk to the Blackbeards. Van Augur is aiming his rifle at Caribou, and Caribou's on the ground pleading. So, interesting. There are people after Commodore's life, which makes sense. If he's a Yonko, automatically there are people after his life because of his status as a Yonko. Both pirates and the Navy, even though the Navy generally won't engage with the Yonko if they can avoid it. Commodore Teach will have your heads. Those are bold words coming from Caribou. But I suppose he's right that Teach would be very angry if he missed out on that level of information. Okay, next panel. Van Augur speaking. Oh, and why is that? Because I have extremely valuable information, the kind that's hard to come by. Information on the ancient weapons which bear the names of the gods. First is the curious power of Fishman Islands, Princess Shirahoshi known as Poseidon. Then there's Pluton, sleeping underground in Wano. The only people in the world who know the whereabouts of both are Straw Hat Crew and myself. And this is Caribou thinking to himself about what he knows. If you bring me to a Commodore, I'll surrender that information free of charge. I'm sure he'll be pleased. Just take me with you. I know I can be of use. Now we're back to the shore where the Marines are firing, where the Marine warships are still opening fire on the island. Pull back from the shore. We have to stop firing on the Pacifista. I've got a Pacifista Mark III using the bubble shield to repel a Navy cannon barrage. And now we have soldiers reacting. Those damn bubble shields! I never thought we'd learn about the power of the special science group like this. Now the Pacifista is returning fire with the laser, blowing up another Navy ship. Vice Admiral Bluegrass. This is so frustrating. I can't cut loose. We'd just be hurting ourselves by taking out those units. Vice Admiral Hound. It'd be unprecedented, but is there any chance of calling off the Buster Call for now? And Vice Admiral Guillotine. Vegapunk himself gave that pirate the authority to command the Pacifista, right? There's no way we can stop. After this, there's no doubt he's rebel scum. We should focus on getting the Pacifista back on our side. That means taking Jewelry Bonnie's head. And Vice Admiral Doberman. All Vice Admirals should leave their stations to hunt her down immediately. Her current escape route from the center of the Fabriostratum will lead her to the northeast coast. We must eliminate her. Roger that. Tosa here. I'm already hot on their heels. I'll get them. These fingers will drag her to hell. My 10-barrel finger gun can even rip open armor. So he's using Rokushiki. He's using the same, I believe, the attack that Jabra uses, where he uses both hands. So he's combining Rokushiki with the armament Haki here, though Rokushiki is basically a sort of semi-Haki anyway. But the technique, Vice Admiral Tosa, crap, it's a Marine, and he's diving at Bonnie, who's on Frankie's back. Tosa crunch. What? Crap, it's a Marine. Huh? Blah. And he gets smashed into the ground by a club being wielded by a giant hand. Yeah! Bonnie is responding in shock. Frankie, huh? There are giants on this island? Are they enemies too? We're in a rush, you know. Ga-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Who are you guys? We checked the bounty posters to make sure we'd recognize the new members. But none of you look familiar. Are you researchers? We've come to get the Straw Hats. What for? Luffy's my captain. Do you have a grudge against him? Says Frankie. Because Frankie has never met Dorian Broggie. Dorian Broggie did take the initiative and they looked up the wanted posters of Luffy's crewmates so they know who all the new crew members are, which is good. They of course don't recognize the researchers from Vegapunk. No, nothing like that. We've only got gratitude for him. We're warriors from Elbaf. If you're friends of his, we'll do our best to keep you safe. And Bonnie, Luffy, Sanji, and Vegapunk are still back there. Can you help them too? Those names sure take me back. You betcha, little missy. Vegapunk, he's the one that Scholar mentioned, right? Carry them to the ship. We're going ahead. The fire's starting to get out of control. Giant allies, huh? Are they the masters Usopp's always going on about? Aye aye, Captain. So now, Dorian Broggie have handed off Frankie, Bonnie, Kuma, Atlas to some of their crew. 2 members of their crew we haven't seen before. And they will be taking those guys back to the ship. And now Dory and Brookie are on their way to where Luffy and Sanji are fighting with Kizaru and Saturn. It would be very interesting if they actually show up and Saturn and Kizaru lay eyes upon Dory and Brookie. Okay, so next page. Vice Admiral Urban. The line's gone dead. Vice Admiral Pomsky. Did they counter his attack, or was it the giants? I'm heading to the island. Hop on, doll. We'll attack from the sea. The ship on the northeast shore is definitely from Elbaf. Our fortune keeps flip-flopping. Giants are no joke. Have you ever fought one? My commanding officer, a little over 20 years ago, was a giant. Interesting. So, Vice Admiral Dahl used to work under a giant marine. And then Bluegrass. Past tense? You must be talking about Saul. He was a tough cookie. Well, that wraps it up. So Vice Admiral Dahl used to work under Saul, which makes sense. Okay, we're back to the Giants with Frankie and Bonnie and the others. Where are the others? In the lab above the clouds. On a sky island? Not exactly, they're just above us. Nope, we're back to Saturn. You can't move? How are we meant to save you then? Ouch, if you try to move me, I'll die from internal hemorrhaging. Oof, that's a big, spooky shot of Saturn. But we promised to get you off this island, didn't we? This is Sanji speaking. I believe it's Sanji. And now Vegapunk, I did ask you for that, but I've made my bed, and there are things here I must protect. I was hoping Bonnie's command override would have remained a secret till she was a little bit older. She'll be a target for the rest of her life. Please look after her. So this is really interesting here. I hadn't even considered that, but Bonnie is going to be a target of the world government for the rest of her life. She's going to need constant protection. So she's going to need to be with a pirate crew that is strong enough, or a force that is strong enough to repel the world government should the government come looking for her. So that kind of adds a whole lot of strength to the idea of Bonnie joining the Straw Hats, which wasn't really on my radar that much at first, but other people had kind of been kicking that theory around. I'm not 100% on the idea of Bonnie joining the Straw Hats at this point, but this just made the case a lot stronger because she is going to need protection from the world government. And there are only so many places where she would be safe from the world government, either amongst the Yonko, perhaps with the Revolutionary Army. If they take her to Elbaf, depending on how strong Elbaf really is compared to the world government, so far they've been... The reputation of Elbaf is that they're so strong that the world government won't mess with them. If I'm remembering most of the details correctly, then Elbaf could possibly be a place where Bonnie could stay safely. It also sort of makes sense because Kuma is a buccaneer, so he's half giant. If Kuma survives, he might learn a little bit more about his heritage as a buccaneer, perhaps what the relationship is between the buccaneers and the giants if they stay on Elbaf. So There's a possibility of Bonnie traveling with the Straw Hats to Elbaf and staying on Elbaf if she doesn't join the crew, which I'm still not sold on that. But it is a possibility at this point. Okay, so I was hoping Bonnie's command override would have remained a secret till she was a little older. She'll be a target for the rest of her life. Please look after her. And Sanji looks like he's given up any pretense of looking human. Talking about Saturn. There's a strange look in his eye. Seems he's completely coated in venom too. And we see panels of one of Saturn's legs stabbing through a tree, and as he stabs through it, the tree is coated with venom and it breaks in half. No problem. Okay, Sanji, you get Gramps out of here. Don't stop, even if he's mooning about the pain. Ha 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 ha, oof. Luffy dodge. No problem. So, Saturn is trying to attack Luffy. Luffy is dodging around, avoiding his attacks, and he tells Sanji to get Vegapunk out. Ouch, ouch, stop it. I said it's fine. Leave me, Sanji. Simmer down. We'll figure it out. Smack. And Kizaru teleports right in front of Sanji and hits him with a kick to the chin. Huh? Hold on. Ugh. And then Kizaru uses his, I believe that's his light sword, and stabs right through Vegapunk. So now he's been pierced by both Saturn and Kizaru. And Kizaru actually went through with it, so yeah, he's still showing that he's entirely committed to carrying out his duty here, even if he does feel the emotional attachment to Vegapunk. It's obviously not going to give him any mercy. No, Vegapunk. Applegrams. Sanji, get going. You gotta get back to the entrance. Crap, I'm sorry, Vegapunk. Damn it, Vegapunk, don't die on me. Beep. Hey, what are you smiling about? Stay with me. Beep. Fizz, gotcha. Mic check, testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. And you too. So now, Luffy has gone into his giant form. He's grabbed Saturn by the face, and he's grabbed up Kizaru. And Sanji's trying to get away with Vegapunk. Vegapunk was smiling. And now some automated system is activating, and it's playing what looks like a recording of Vegapunk. You know there's no way I'm letting you two escape, right? That's what Luffy says to Saturn and Kizaru. the broadcast is going out. Attention world, hello there. This is Dr. Vegapunk, the world's greatest and most humble scientific genius. I'm sure this message will come as a shock for all of you, but please bear with me. What I'm about to tell you is the truth about our world. An announcement from Vegapunk, chapter end. Okay, so that's pretty big coming from Vegapunk. There's no break next week. So what I'm understanding from the chapter is that Vegapunk had a dead man switch. So as soon as he dies, probably as soon as his heart stops beating or something like that, it activates this remote system that plays a recording to the entire world, and apparently it's going to tell the truth about the world. Now, because there are so many secrets in the One Piece world, there are so many venues that a person could go down telling about the truth, because I'm pretty sure Vegapunk won't be able to tell the entire all-encompassing truth about the world, because some of those truths are still unknown to Vegapunk and relating to the One Piece and what Luffy and his crew have to discover. So the truth about the world Vegapunk can reveal has to be somewhat limited here. So the first thing that comes to mind is the most obvious thing, the truth about the Void Century. Because Vegapunk was picking up Ohara's research. That's the reason that the world government has come to kill Vegapunk in the first place. That's the secret they're trying to protect here. So I think that's candidate number one at the forefront. Most likely he's going to reveal the Void Century. The question is, how much does Vegapunk know? Because the scholars of Ohara, they could read the poneglyphs. Let's see, why were they... Let's see. They could read the poneglyphs. They were studying the Void Century. As I recall, they didn't know everything about the Void Century. They knew some details. So, if Vegapunk picked up Ohara's research and continued on with it, did he learn everything about the Void Century and the Ancient Kingdom? Maybe he only learned part. Because what I'm trying to think about is how Vegapunk can reveal the truth of the world relating to the Void Century, and there still be enough of a mystery left for Robin to investigate. Because Robin's goal is to find out about the Void Century, to find out the true history of the world. And if Vegapunk reveals everything about the Void Century here, then that puts an end to Robin's goal. It seems that way, so it's unlikely that Vegapunk is going to reveal everything, but he's going to reveal some details. Perhaps, let's see. What the world knows so far currently. Generally, the world knows that there's a 100-year blank in the history of the world. At the level above that, there are people that know that this was covered up by the world government, specifically because they were hiding something. At the level above that, there are people that know, very few people, that know that there was an ancient kingdom and that this kingdom was wiped out by the world government during that void century. They don't know specifics about the kingdom. So let's think, at the level above that would be people that know specifics about the kingdom. They know the name of the kingdom, the people of that kingdom. If any people from that kingdom still survive to this day, they know that the kingdom is, that perhaps is the level that Cobra was at before he was killed, because of the letter from Nefertari Lily that revealed that the Nefertari family was the D clan, part of the D clan. But the Nefertari family is from Alabasta. They're the rulers of Alabasta, so they're from the D clan, but they're not from the ancient kingdom, which could kind of throw a wrench into the idea that the ancient kingdom was a kingdom made up entirely of the D clan, because Nefertari Vivi or Nefertari Lily would be part of that D clan kingdom. And it kind of makes sense because the whole point of the D's is they're generally about freedom. So it kind of wouldn't make sense for the D's to be a kingdom of people that live as the subjects of a ruler. So it kind of, at least in my mind, it throws the idea that D clan can't be a kingdom. Maybe the D clan lived in the kingdom, or some members of the D clan lived in that kingdom, and perhaps even were important figures in that ancient kingdom. But it wasn't like the kingdom was all the D clan family living under the rule of them, of some king, of some royal family. So what truth can Vegapunk reveal? Well, I suppose he's gonna start with the basics. That yes, there was the Void Century did happen. It was covered up by the world government because they wanted to hide the existence of the ancient kingdom. I think revealing that the ancient kingdom exists at this stage would be okay, because there are a lot of people that already know that the ancient kingdom exists. There are even some people that knew the name. I believe, did Clover know the name of the ancient kingdom? I think he might have known the name. I think in his last words to the elders, I think he said the name of the ancient kingdom right before the elders gave the command to kill him. So going that far doesn't really interfere with Robin's quest that much, because there are people in the world that already knew that element of the world's history. It wasn't widely known, but it was known. And I think known to Robin too. Perhaps? I don't know. Robin was a full scholar of Ohara, so she probably would have known the name of the kingdom. Even though they didn't want her to be involved in that research specifically because they knew how dangerous it was. But she was involved enough. But yeah, I think he can reveal the name of the kingdom. He can reveal that the kingdom existed. He could probably talk about the war, because he's telling the truth about the world, so it has to relate to the world government as well. The formation of the world government, Vegapunk probably doesn't know about Eam existing. But it's hard to say. If Eam existed during the blank century, which it is heavily implied that Eam did exist at that time, then it's possible that Eam is in that history as a regular ruler or a regular person. So they're in that history, but nobody knows that Eam is still alive today and currently the ruler of the world. It's interesting. This is probably going to require a whole larger video where I go over the thoughts, because I'm already thinking so much, and it's just about the Void Century, what Vegapunk could possibly reveal, and what impact that has on Robin's quest to find out the true history of the world. So, interesting, we still get no update on Zoro and his status in his fight. Luffy is going to be, it seems, 2v1 or 2v1 with Saturn and Kizaru, because he's not letting them escape. Saturn has kind of gotten angry and revealed his, I won't say the full extent of his power, but a larger extent of his power. That he has venom, and he's looking even more monstrous and demonic than he did before, which is a really nice touch there. That's going to be really amazing to see in the anime, I'm thinking. Sanji is trying to take Vegapunk to safety. Vegapunk has been hit again. It might be fatal, it might not be fatal, but it's definitely activated the dead man switch. It's going to release this message to the world. World shaking. The truth of the world. Then there's the other thing, the thing that they've been hinting at sort of since the start of this arc, is the devil fruit information, the knowledge about devil fruits that Vegapunk has. One of the reasons I was expecting Vegapunk to survive this arc is because I figured that he would survive so that he would have an opportunity to explain the truth of devil fruits to the Straw Hats. And if he is dying at this stage, then that avenue of getting the truth about devil fruits from Vegapunk is closed off, unless it's part of this announcement. For it to be part of this announcement, it has to be related to the truth of the world. Let's see. Theory about devil fruits. The biggest theory is that devil fruits grew on the Adam tree. The location of the Atom Tree is, I think, still unknown at this point. Or maybe it's not, it's unknown to us and generally unknown, I think. Because there are people that have access to Atom Tree because wood from the Atom Tree is what was used to create the Thousand Sunny. And Frankie got that wood off the black market. So someone has access to the Atom Tree to get wood off from it. And they have black market connections. They're probably a pirate or someone connected to the black market that could sell that wood on the black market. Devil fruits coming from the Atom Tree. Then there's the Ancient Kingdom. Where was its location? Could that be part of the announcement? I'm trying to do that quick chapter recap and I'm getting off into the weeds. But yeah, Luffy's gonna 2v1 or 1v2 Saturn and Kizaru. Vegapunk is probably, it's not looking good for him. He's not looking any worse, better for the wear. We don't have an update on Zoro versus Lucci. The giant pirates are actually on their way to that location, so they could actually help Luffy fight Saturn and Kizaru if they arrive in time. I suppose Sanji's still going to be trying to escape with Vegapunk. The Blackbeard pirates are still on the island at this particular moment. They're talking to Caribou. Caribou is going to end up being taken off the island. The Marines are trying to handle the Pacifista, but they're still not making too much progress. But a few of the Marines are heading towards the island to the northeast coast to try and stop the giant pirate ship from setting off once the Straw Hats get there. They did consider the possibility of pulling back the Buster Call, but they are not doing that at this moment. Bonnie is being targeted, so because of this, Bonnie is a character that's going to be very important in the story. Okay. But yeah, that's a good chapter. I think that if Vegapunk is, depending on how far Vegapunk is going to go with the information reveal in the next chapter, we could be in for a legendary status chapter, something that rivals the ultimate chapter from last year, which the ultimate chapter was pretty much the ultimate chapter. I think this could get close to that with the revealing of some of the major mysteries regarding the Void Century. A really good setup chapter, rising towards that climax. I think that, let's see, we get the announcement. And the fight probably continues. I'm thinking, a few chapters away from actually concluding this arc. That things are still looking really hairy situationally, even though they're getting better with the giant pirates. And now that I think about it, there's no possibility that the giant pirates could be in danger here. I want to say no. I think they're pretty good, solid. But yeah, this has been a exciting chapter. Things are at that fever pitch, and at least one of perhaps the first domino is going to tilt in the next chapter with that revealing. Because Saturn is going to be really upset learning that the secret of the world got revealed by Vegapunk after he has killed him. So it makes the entire point of the Navy coming to the island kind of moot, because ultimately the secret ended up getting out. The secret they were trying to protect by killing Vegapunk ends up getting out because they killed Vegapunk. And Vegapunk kind of keeping to his reputation as the smartest person in the world with that solid contingency plan. The dead man switch in the event that he does get killed. And where is Robin? She was healing in the lab. I kind of hope that we have to get Robin in the next chapter. Robin has to be conscious and active to see and hear this announcement. Yes. Yep, the world history. Relating to the world history. Because when you think about it, the true history of the world should be bifurcated in two halves. The half relating to the history of the world and sort of the global politics and the void century and how the world government came to be and rose to power. Then there is the truth and the history of the pirate lines, the sort of the ancient pirates, the pirates that, let's see, if there were pirates that existed during the Void Century and the early history, what those pirates were like, what those pirates' goals were, how long the One Piece has existed, if it has existed since the ancient times, because so far there's been no indication, or wait, there has been indication. There has been indication of the One Piece existing at least back to the era of Joy Boy. Could it have existed before the era of Joy Boy is a question mark. The ancient weapons have existed for probably as far back as 900 years ago and probably longer than that. There's a history on the piracy, the ancient weapons, the One Piece itself, what the One Piece means to the world, the history of, as we get towards the more modern, close to the modern area, Sobek, Roger, what Roger saw, what his crew decided, what that means for the future, the present day pirates, and then what it possibly means for the future after the present day. So with those two lines of history to go down, Vegapunk can reveal a lot on that first half with the world government, the creation of the world government, the ancient kingdom. I don't think the meaning of the D is connected to the ancient kingdom, as the ancient kingdom seems like it's about to be revealed here. I think we might get another clue, a bigger clue about the history of the D, but the history of the D has to be, I think it has to be with the One Piece. Connected to the One Piece. That history that Roger learned. Because from what I understand, Roger didn't know the meaning of the history, the meaning of the D name until after he had been to Raftel, after he had found One Piece. Or maybe they didn't find the One Piece exactly, but they found maybe what points to it. Or they found the One Piece itself. Either way, the message, they were too early. The message from Joy Boy. So I think it's not possible that the full mystery behind the D will be revealed here, relating to the ancient kingdom and the formation of the world government. I think that is going to be with the One Piece. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment, hit that subscribe button. Obviously, there's going to be a whole lot of speculation to come. I might do another video where I kind of just go over kind of speculation based on this possible announcement. That might be an interesting video to do. And with that, I will catch you guys next week, because there's no break this week. At least from what I'm seeing, there's no break this week. So we will be moving right along into the revelation next week. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you then. Ciao.